Hello everyone, my name is Adam Ingram. I have Phil Young with me from the governance part of Bury AFC, the coordinator, setting up that side of the football club. What we're going to do is a bit of a outline of the structures that we've sort of put in place for the Community Benefits Society to do with the football club and the Shakers community membership that we opened up this weekend. And Phil's just going to take us through the elements of how it's been set up, why it's been set up, how Shakers community set up works with the football club and the footballing side of things. We're going to get some bits and pieces, and explain some of the frequently asked questions that we've already explained, but put them into some sort of format for you to be able to look at a little bit easier. So as you can see on the screen, we've got the sort of flow chart about how things work and where different bodies fit into the model that we're looking at. So the first question I've got for Phil is, what is the Community Benefit Society and the scheme that we've set up, and why are we using it in the way we're doing it?
The first thing to get across is there's sort of two corporate entities, two companies, if you like, that were set up to run the overall club structure. The first one you can see, which is the third white dot down, is Bury AFC 2019, which is ostensibly the football club. It trades as Bury AFC. It's a traditional limited company, but it's 100% owned by the Shakers Community Society Limited, which is a community benefit society. Community benefit societies, it's a form of a mutual society, basically. It's regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. There's quite a lot of governance that goes into it to have that set up in the first place. And there's also quite a bit of protection that's given as part of that for the club. The reason why we use the Community Benefit Society is that's a vehicle that's been used by a lot of other football clubs to manage and handle fan ownership. If you can think about, several hundred, as we've already got at the moment, maybe even thousands of fans that are buying a vote and a shareholding in the club for very small amounts of money, the administration of that's going to be really, really difficult in a traditional limited company. And there's tax problems and all sorts of complexities with that. The community society basically allows us to administer all of that really simply and really easily. And it's kind of akin to a charity. We've got to run it on a not-for-profit basis. Yeah. And it gets some tax breaks. It doesn't pay corporation tax and things like that along the way for the money that goes into it. So we're handling all of the share memberships and the voting memberships through the Community Benefit Society, which is called Shakers Community Society Limited. And you can find details of how that works on the society's register on the FCA website as well, if anybody wants to take a look at it. The registered number's 8350 if anybody wants to look at that, just to check that it's a valid business as well.
Cool.
One of the things that's kind of worth pointing out is the community shareholders. It's called a community share that you get as part of your membership and your annual subscription. It's a share that you can't change with anybody else. It's not got any kind of real value that you can't sell it on to somebody. And it also gets cancelled once you stop paying that annual subscription. So it's a small amount of money that you buy it for, but it's really bound into the overall membership. We do have the ability, again, one of the questions that we've been asked is, will we ever dilute down the 100% shareholding we get and all the rest of it? We, as the kind of individuals that have set this structure up in the first place, won't have any say in that. It will all come down to a vote amongst the members. So should somebody rock up, what you can see in the yellow icon there, the rules of a community benefit society mean that if anybody wanted to buy a share for more than £100,000, then it couldn't go into the society unless it was a pure donation anyway. But equally, if somebody came along and said, I'm prepared to invest £3 million into the football club, they would want some real share that wasn't a membership share. There is the ability for us as a membership to take a vote as to whether we would want to dilute our 100% shareholding down to whatever percent was requested for it. That was something that we can do further down the line, and that would be a shareholding, as you can see from the yellow circle there. That would be a shareholding in the limited company rather than in the community benefit society as well. At the moment, everybody's buying a membership in the Community Benefit Society. The Community Benefit Society owns 100%. We have been asked by people to say, what would you do if somebody, are you going to work with X, Y, and Z in the future? The reality is, it's the members that vote on all these sorts of things. We've got well over 200 people that have joined just in the first 2 days that we launched this. So there's a lot of kind of collective influence and power that goes into these critical decisions. Yes, we could do it, but a lot of people are pretty raw from what's gone on with the football club in recent years.
Yeah.
And we would never want to dilute that down. We don't want any external involvement or anything like that. We've taken the view that we're trying to run this and we're trying to act in the interest, not just of the current fans, but in the next generation of fans and people in 30, 50 years' time, that they're able to have enough flexibility to change the constitution
and progress it in different ways, if to relate to whatever the structure of any football league would be in the future or whatever.
And plenty of other clubs have taken those decisions over time. Some of them have got it bound into their constitution that they can't dilute, or they can only dilute a very small amount. I'm speaking to some of them have regretted that over time, but some of them haven't. So we're trying to make sure that it just comes down to the people who are the members are the people that will make that decision in future. And it won't be down to me or a small number of people making a decision along those lines. It'll be down to a member vote. So fundamentally, if you want to influence who we work with, what we do, what happens going further forward in terms of those big strategic decisions, become a member, get involved in the board, in the audit committees, the remuneration committee. So the green circle, just to explain, part of the legacy of where we've come from and the frustrations that people have had over the general oversight of the club, is that in addition to the shareholders, which is the first sort of big decision that we'll be making, the members will be electing who goes on that Shakers Community Board. The board will also put together 3, maybe more, we can add more to this over time, but 3 committees with more specialist knowledge in there, and ideally an independent person that sits on it as well. Somebody will sit on the audit committee, which will have financial oversight over the club's accounts, and basically be able to report back to the shareholders, who are the members, to say, here's the accounts, we've had a look at them, we've interrogated them, we've asked some difficult questions of people, and we're happy, we're satisfied, we'll flag up any issues. We've got a remuneration committee in there, which will basically be making sure that people aren't getting paid daft amounts of money, that there's no conflicts of interest in there as well. So there's not somebody that's sat on a board that's that's getting money siphoned off to another company that they've got, all those sorts of things that people have got in the past. And a community and welfare committee, because we want this to be more than just a football club and 11 guys playing on a pitch, a fundamental part of the community in Bury, and expand out where we can do beyond just the football club. And, we want women's teams, we want junior teams, we want to build an academy, we want to do good things in the community where we can do as well. So that committee will be tasked with building that side of things out as well. And we'll have loads of good ideas about it.
I can vouch for that. That's definitely something that's been going on within the group. But that section of the green is protecting the members, ensuring the board are working in the best interests of the Shakers community scheme.
It's another layer of protection there, like get some people, you can get some accountants with expertise in the audit committee that can look at the financials and be advising that the Shakers Community Board on that as well, and give them some comfort when they're looking at these things.
Some of those positions we talked about potentially being not necessarily always, or not linked to Bury, even as outside interests or experience in other football clubs.
I think it's good to bring in, where you can do, where it's feasible, at least one person who's independent of the club that can come in and actually take a look at it with a completely dispassionate view on it as well.
Yeah.
Whether it's somebody that's experienced in our area or not, I think somebody can bring that to us and really challenge and push us along the way, I think is invaluable.
We're looking for, we've obviously put out suggestions for and want requests for people to join the board and make applications for that board. Or just can you set the timeline out for that, and what when we're looking to actually have the elections and when people need to get their applications in?
Yeah, we're kind of mindful of the lockdown that we're in at the moment. So So what we're trying to do at the moment is anyone who's a member is invited to apply. You need to find 2 other people who are also members to nominate. And this is just following the set policy and the process that we've been given that other clubs follow as well. We're taking a lot of guidance throughout the whole policy side of things, and right now our constitution is basically following what the Football Supporters Association have given us, and they've advised us the whole way through on this. So we're trying to get nominations in by the 3rd of May. Once we get those nominations in, there's a number of positions that are available. There'll be between 7 and 9 board positions in total. There are a few fixed positions. This is all sort of available, and the roles are stated in quite good detail on the website as well. So it's worth anyone that's interested in having a read through that. What we'd originally planned pre-lockdown to have an election on at the beginning of June. We'll carry on with that timetable, but one of the commitments and one of the changes we made to our constitution was to include the ability to do online votes as well. So when we get the nominations in, we'll allow people to do postal votes, and those will dribble in because the post takes time. We'll have online votes as well. We don't know for definite, but what we probably can't do is have a physical meeting where we can have things by show of hands or a poll on the day for it. So the likelihood is we'll just use the electronic votes and the postal votes to collate votes for the board members. So after the 3rd of May, we'll make all of the nominees available on the website, and we'll get them out by email, etc.
Yeah.
People have the opportunity to read their own descriptions of the reason why they think they should be elected on the board as well. Hopefully we'll have a good mix, a good blend of people really keen to increase diversity as well. So like a good mix of different people from different backgrounds on there. There are certain roles, which is worth bearing in mind, that we need to fulfil. One of them being a treasurer, for example. So Mike, who does that at the moment, will stand for election on that. Worth reading the job roles, because we need people that are Mike's an accountant. That's invaluable. There's a few fixed things where having people with board experience and that sort of stuff really does help. However, there are also people that will have just general experience or very specific expertise that they can bring to the party that don't have board experience as well. So a blend of personalities and a blend of expertise that will help really drive up membership going further forward.
So that's the sort of makeup of the plans for the Shakers community side of things. That board is then pulled together to then dictate how the Bury AFC board and the football side of things is run. Yeah,
so it's important that just to get across that the Shakers Community Board isn't the board that's running the football club on a day-to-day basis. It's got an oversight function as much as anything else. We'll come together on just to make key decisions and things like that, but it's not going to be involved in the day-to-day running of the club. One of the first jobs it's going to have is, first of all, to get these committees established, but also to appoint a chairman of the football club. Currently, we've got Chris in situ, we've got secretary, we've got the various names that we have for the FA application. So there's a fair chance that we'll carry on with those in place, but ultimately they'll have the decision-making power to decide who they want to run that football club. We'll appoint a chairman or ratify the existing chairman. And off the back of that, the chairman, in collaboration with the Shakers Community Board, will say, look, here's a team of people that I want and I need to put together to run the football club on a day-to-day basis, including the football manager, including who he wants in his media and his press team and the commercial team and things like that. That team will be proposed by the chairman, but ratified by the community board, so that there's a degree of, if there was a real problem or something that we felt was problematic or had a particularly bad reputation amongst the membership, we're in a position where we could say, look, that person, that individual is just not appropriate to bring in. But ultimately, we want to devolve some responsibility to people. There's nothing more demotivating than giving people a job and then taking all the responsibility and power away from them. So we need to make sure that they've got the responsibility that they need to make day-to-day decisions. It's not going to be the case that the fans and the members will be voting on a regular basis as to whether they want to sack the manager and who they want to and things like that. I think in some respects it goes without saying, but sometimes we get carried away thinking that the membership gives a degree of control and power over those sorts of decisions, which it doesn't. It's really there for the key strategic decisions. But that those members effectively devolving some responsibility down to the community, to the Shakers Community Board, and that Shakers Community Board has some oversight and responsibility that they devolve down to the people running the day-to-day board of the football club itself. So hopefully, it might seem overly complicated to people, but it comes from a background where we've had, individuals making all sorts of decisions without any kind of oversight or any kind of governance. Ultimately, the fans now are shareholders in the business, and we just want to make sure that their shareholding really imbued with a lot of emotion and history, as opposed to being worth, a lot of money. But that's protected as any shareholder would want their shareholding protected.
Going back to your protection, the asset lock that we mentioned within the frequently asked questions is the protection for that investment that fans are putting in their club.
What the asset lock does within the constitution, and this is a kind of a legally binding document. It's to all intents and purposes, if it was a limited company, it would be our articles of association, so you can't get around it. And the FCA have got all the paperwork for it as well. What that asset lock means is that the club can't be. It's impossible to asset strip the club in future. If the club owns an asset like a ground or the name or players' contracts or whatever it is, it can't be taken over by an individual. And we could fold the club if the members voted to do so. We could dilute our shareholding if the members wanted to do so, but no one's able to just buy shares effectively aggressively take the club over and asset strip it as has happened in the past, let's be honest. So that's just now legally impossible for that to happen. If we wanted to wind the club down, if we wanted to stop playing football, it would have to go to a member vote, and it would have to be a very significant vote, the threshold to stop that from happening in the future. So if we ever did that, the money from it would also have to go to another community benefit society or another charity. So there is absolutely nothing in it financially for anybody to try and take the club over. The money or the assets can't go anywhere else other than another community benefit society, like another football club or a community trust or a charity or something like that.
Right. Well, I think for now that sort of answers the sort of pertinent questions. Unless there's anything else that you need to mention, Phil.
I think what I would say is there's loads of questions that keep coming in all the time. We're more than happy to work our way through them all and maybe batch some of them up in future. And one of the things that did come through yesterday, which I thought was a really good question people might be asking about, is what additional benefits and discounts and things like that people get through being a community member. At the moment, the one issue that we're trying to work our way through is just around tax. So there are specific tax benefits that we get through the Community Benefit Society. However, if we're selling products and arguably if we're offering discounts on certain things, we need to be very careful from a tax point of view as to how we do that. We definitely want to do those sort of things. The more benefits we can give to people, the better. But we just need to work our way through what we're allowed to give and what we're allowed to, because it's quite a niche area of tax. There's not many community benefit societies out there, so we're just having to work our way through those sorts of things at the moment. So I just ask people to bear with us on some of those points of detail. But there's the ability to vote on the board coming up as well. We're also looking at the ability to vote on what the away kit will be. Aspects of design around the shirts and all sorts of bits and pieces like that will be great for people and very engaging, because we want to do more online. We are really committed to trying to make people feel as actively involved and engaged in the voting process and the membership as possible. We've got to have votes on absolutely everything, where we can do things. We're working on the technology to do it at the moment as well.
Released everything on Sunday and people can see things are moving. There's definitely a drive to want to get involved by asking questions, which have been done. But I think, the bits and pieces like this and the other engagement sections and things we're going to do over the next coming days and whatever are really going to build on that engagement with the fans. So everyone out there, just keep asking your questions, keep getting involved as best you can. Any queries you've got, either you can respond to any of our social media lines of messaging, or send you any inquiries to info@buryafc.co.uk. buryafc.uk. Thanks very much for your time, and we'll speak to you again soon.